Next up, every 3 years, the A-listers of the art world are invited to showcase their work at the Triennial in Folkestone. But back in 2014, it was this wall between a car park and an amusement arcade which grabbed all the headlines. This was when the mysterious graffiti artist Banksy made a surprise contribution to the arts festival. We can bring you the bigger picture of what happened next.
Mysterious graffiti artist Banksy has got people guessing again.
Banksy is one of the most prolific graffiti artists the world has ever seen.
You never really know exactly who he is, what he's going to do next.
It is not supposed to end up in auction houses or lawsuits. Until that is, the artist becomes famous and is called Banksy.
His work is anti-establishment and frequently controversial.
You running up to somebody's property or public property and defacing it is not my definition of art.
No one knows who Banksy is, but what we do know is a Banksy work can appear anywhere and at any time, from the streets of his hometown of Bristol to the urban metropolises of London and New York, to war-torn Gaza, and most recently, the refugee camps of Calais. And in the summer of 2014, Banksy came to Kent, to the seaside town of Folkestone. The Folkestone Triennial of 2014 was a highlight in the art world's calendar. It was the year that work by Yoko Ono flew above the town. Weird and wonderful structures started to dot the landscape. Art lovers and non-art lovers alike flocked to the beach when a gold rush was started by an artist burying 30 bars of bullion in the sand. And it was during the Triennial that a new piece of work appeared on Banksy's official website, entitled Art Buff, with the accompanying caption, "Part of the Folkestone Triennial, kind of."
Bit of a stir has been caused in Folkestone over the weekend with the appearance of a genuine Banksy mural on a wall in the town.
And the local council's covered it in a protective layer of plastic because previous Banksy artworks elsewhere have, of course, been chiselled off walls for their resale value.
Social media exploded into a flurry of selfies as people headed to the wall of an amusement arcade to see Art Buff for themselves. Suddenly, Folkestone caught a serious dose of Banksy fever. And it didn't take long for Art Buff to generate its own line of merchandise.
We created magnets and keyrings in the store. It was just such a big thing for Folkestone.
Well, initially, we were all about the T-shirts, and then people were asking for it and all kinds of stuff, so we started doing mugs, anything people wanted, we just started printing it, yeah.
The first thing I saw was the magnets, and I thought that was a fantastic idea. And then we thought, well, let's just create a cocktail.
So you had a little Banksy brainstorm?
Yeah. Come up with the Banksy wall banger.
That's good.
Excellent.
Here's to Banksy.
Here's to Banksy, thank you.
But the Banksy bubble was soon to burst. Overnight, the painting disappeared, along with the surface of the wall it was painted on. Social media was ablaze, but this time it wasn't about the selfies. Replacing them were pictures of crowd control and workmen removing the beloved Banksy. The town was in uproar.
When I got here, there was scaffolding up and there was tarpaulin over the scaffolding. So there were people behind the tarpaulin, there was a little bit of drilling going on and then it would stop. And we were saying, what is happening? And then the first story was, we're turning it around so people can see in the arcade.
So you all had that sense of ownership?
Yes.
Yeah, it was here, it was ours.
It was ours. It belonged to Folkestone.
Yeah, it was
a gift.
It was our Banksy.
It was a gift.
And then these people come and decide, we're taking.
I asked the police what was going on, asked people what was going on, stood around for a bit, got agitated. Felt like everybody else, this is my town, I live here, Banksy bought the piece here, I think it should stay. It was part of the town, it was part of the Triennial, it was part of the artworks. People come to see art, it should just be on that wall.
The Godden family, who run the arcade on which Art Buff was painted, believed the piece to be theirs to sell, so they approached an art dealer.
The art dealer, yeah. He was quite arrogant, but the thing that gave him away and set him apart from everybody else surrounding this, what was going on, was his shoes. He has got these amazing shoes on. So immediately they became the focus for his revealing of his identity. You are not from round here. They did not come from TK Maxx. You are an art dealer.
So who was the man behind the fancy shoes?
So, welcome to my humble abode.
Very humble. And this is the man himself.
The man himself, Mr. Banksy.
Robin Barton is an art dealer and owner of the Bank Robber Gallery in Mayfair and has a track record when it comes to the removal and sale of Banksy's work. But how did he become involved with Art Buff?
Very simple. I got invited to comment on the piece and offer instruction as to whether it could be moved to be sold.
By the people?
By the Godden family.
But Robin was under the impression that the Godden family owned the wall it was painted on.
And it was only months later that it was discovered that in fact there was a larger freeholder, as it were.
You would accept that you should have checked?
Absolutely should have
who
checked.
It belonged to?
Yeah. But I work on handshakes only, so it was a mistake on my part.
After its removal, Barton sent Art Buff to Miami to be sold at auction on behalf of the Godden family, but it didn't sell.
It would have sold. They tend to take 2-3 years to sell a piece. With the Art Buff piece, in itself, it's not a pretty thing. So you have to have a story, a backstory that's going to make it collectible to someone. So the more fuss and bother that occurred, it fueled its value potentially.
And if it's fuss and bother he wanted, it was fuss and bother he was going to get. Folkestone wanted its Banksy back.
Once we discovered that there was a freeholder, then we thought, well, hold on a minute. Surely they've just taken somebody's building, part of their building. So we took advice and lo and behold, that was the case. And then we got a backer who said, okay, let's pursue this. This should come back to Folkestone.
Backed by Folkestone philanthropist Sir Roger de Harm and the services of a top team of London lawyers, the Creative Foundation took to the courts to win back Art Buff.
So the question was whether the landlord or the tenant owned the Banksy once it was painted on the wall. So the case was a novel one in that it raised issues that hadn't been determined before because the English courts haven't determined the question of ownership of street art. The judge in this case decided that the landlord had the rights to the Banksy and ordered that it be returned to Folkestone.
The Godden family, who run the amusement arcade, didn't want to speak on camera.
But they did give us a statement.
We, as a family, had made clear our intentions from early on to sell Art Buff for the benefit of our charity. We hope Art Buff will be enjoyed by the people of Folkestone in its new home, but please spare a thought for how many lives could have been improved by the same money spent by one person on a piece of graffiti.
Do you communicate with him directly?
Never.
Do you know him?
No.
Do you know who he is?
Yes.
Is he one person?
One person.
Not two.
It's very uninteresting.
But had Folkestone seen the last of Banksy? 1 year after the removal of Art Buff, a signature Banksy rat appeared on the same wall. Was it a genuine work? Did Banksy come back to Folkestone? Well, we can now reveal the answer.
I'm Rob Ski, from Folkestone. I'm an airbrush artist, and I've painted Rat Buff, not Banksy. I mean, it's a Banksy image. I put my hands up and I respect the guy, but there are people sort of standing there with rats and, I like the way he's done the shading on the tail. And I'm thinking, it's some fat bloke from Folkestone.
After the copycat artworks, the line of Art Buff merchandise and a lengthy court battle,
That is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be.
the town of Folkestone was getting its Banksy back.
It's very, very large and it's very, very heavy and it's very difficult to do anything with. And I don't remember what it looked like. This looks amazing. I mean, it's damaged because it's been removed from the wall, but it's actually damaged within itself as well. So I'm not quite sure how we look after it, and Conservatives aren't happy and they don't want you to put it back outside. We just have the last phase of the challenge, which is how do you look after the piece and how do you show it so the most people can see it in the best environment for the longest period of time.
So, what happens next? Well, we'll just have to watch this space.